there's so much to pull apart and appreciate with what's been done here on the Benriach 12. Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. My name is Wade and you are here with me today to do a tasting and review of the Speyside single malt Benriach The 12. So you can see this bottle here is the new labeling. Those of you that are familiar with Benriach know that they went through a bit of a rebrand. And in this case, this whiskey is 3 cask matured in sherry, bourbon, and portwood. Whiskey maturing for 12 years in each of these individual barrels and then being vatted together. So we're looking at 46% ABV, and there isn't any mention that I can see about chill filtration or coloring. So in that instance, we have to assume that it's been chill filtered and that it's been artificially colored. As per usual, we're going to jump into the nose. We're going to try on the palate and then ultimately let you know the finish and whether or not I recommend that you pick up a bottle of Benriach The 12. With that said, let's pour a dram and start with the nosing. Okay. Very much in that sort of medium spectrum in terms of color. Right away, smacked in the face with those tropical dark fruits and then chocolate, just abundance of chocolate. So much dark chocolate right now, it's taking over from virtually everything else at the moment. So you can see here, my bottle is about half full. I'm an optimist. And this one has really been interesting. The thing I like about the Benriach so far is it's got a lot going on and it's changing. Sometimes when I open this bottle, it's just this intense like a dark cherry jam, and then other times it's just abundance of vanilla. And right now in my glass, tons of chocolate, dark chocolate, and the darker fruits. Another thing that I find appealing about Benriach's new branding and labeling, it's not the most attractive labeling. It's not, very glamorous or it doesn't have like a prestige about it, for what appeals to me. But I very much like it almost looks like an Excel table on the front of the label with the maturation columns, the nose, the palate, and it's just very easy and straightforward to sort of get a good sense, right? You can see there on the video of what to expect. Now, it's saying the nose is maple, honey, cocoa, and forest fruits, and most certainly I'm getting tons of the chocolate and the fruit. Not so much of the maple, but the other two are very strong, prominent notes that probably overpower that a little bit. Yeah, as I say, I enjoy the complexity that this one brings because there's a lot going on from 3 casks. And the challenge here really is putting 3 different casks together requires a great deal of skill. It's very easy to have one overpower the other. So it'll be interesting to see the balance that's achieved on this one. So let's try now on the palate and I'll let you know what I can find. Yeah, that's wonderful. This sherry influence, the tobacco's there, the oakiness is coming through beautifully. There's this gorgeous rich, warming mouthfeel. The oak is coming through, and it's just sitting. It's really interesting. I think it's been done very well in that when you are familiar with the type of influence that comes from those different casks, being bourbon casks, sherry casks, and port cask, you can most certainly pick apart elements in this whiskey that derive from each of those cask influences. It's very cool. It's not right now. No one cask leads the charge. It's very much, there's little elements of all of them coming together. The sweetness is a little vanilla from the bourbon cask. Tons of the chocolate that typically I associate with the port cask influence, and heaps of the darker fruits, the maraschino cherry that the label speaks of, that tartness from the cherry and the tobacco. It's really enjoyable if you're someone who likes a complex whiskey and is looking for lots to pick apart and take that time to sit with the dram and really unpack it and see what you can uncover. This is very much, I wouldn't say that for me personally, this is a like a daily sipper that you just relax and enjoy and don't think about. You could do that, but I feel like you'd lose a little bit of the greatness that this whiskey possesses, because there's so much to pull apart and appreciate with what's been done here on the Benriach 12. Beautiful maltiness coming through now. Lots more of the breadiness. It's the chocolate now has subdued quite a lot. Lots of juicy fruits coming through right now. It's very much opened up into a rich malty character now with touch of vanilla. Okay, let's try now on the second sip and see what the finish is like. Oak, spice, baking spices, nutmeg, elements of ginger. There's a good bitiness, a slight dryness coming through now. The cherries there, parts of chocolate. There's tobacco. There's a lot going on. I really like this because it makes me take the time to appreciate and understand what's going on here. I've tried a few of the different Benriach expressions. From my experience so far, I very much think that the 12-year-old is where it's at. It's a really good whiskey, a nice overall sort of balance between vatting of these is really impressive. I've heard some people aren't fans of this, but I like it because it's a little bit different and quirky, and it changes and it evolves and opens up, and that's what a good whiskey is to me. Something that keeps you excited and experiencing a different flavor, as the bottle drains through and I drink more and more of it. It's a really good experience on this one. The reason I picked this up, actually, when I first saw it, for a 46% ABV 12-year age statement, and it was on the shelf where I live locally for around $90 Australian. So great value in my books, I think, especially compared to what else is available to us here in Australia in that range, price range and age range, and the higher ABV is great. Absolutely, if you're a fan of whiskey that gives you a little bit more to think about and you want to try to pull apart and dissect those different flavor profile influences, this is a great one for you to try. I don't recommend it as a starter whiskey purely because if you haven't had a bit of experience understanding where those flavors come from, it may feel muddled to you, or you might not really be able to dissect it and know where those flavor profiles originate. But most certainly, if you can get yourself a Benriach The 12, absolutely recommend it. And I look forward to trying the smoky version soon and sharing with you guys. So until next time, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy your whiskey responsibly, and Slanjava.